Alrighty, what is up guys? So much requested video. We're going to be talking about how to actually post a collection that will sell and how to market, promote, and advertise that collection to a point where you can continue to scale it. So let me make something really clear right off the bat that I cover in every live stream, and I am actually going to be going live tonight as well, giving away another 20 plus NFTs, reviewing projects, and really just being in service of the NFT community and the Hustle family. So right off the bat, let me make this very clear. Your job as a seller is to provide value to the community in the form of understanding what the community wants. Now, the community wants something that they can make money on and they can profit on. The large majority of people buying NFTs are not buying them because they think the art is cool or they believe in the project or any of this sentimental emotional attachment. Unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. The way the community works is, as a buyer, my job is to see value in a project in the form of a raising floor price and dedication from the content creator themselves. So your job as a seller is to entice me as a buyer to basically be able to fulfill my job as a buyer, which is to make money. So we're going to use this collection as an example. Polyglass animals. Now the floor price at 04 is a 4,000% price increase from where we started a couple days ago, and I want to show you this really quick in the activity, and that way you get an idea of where this floor price started. So this floor price started at 001 and was aggressively scaled with every listing, as you can see, 0025, 005, up to 01, right? So when we are looking at this collection, and we have a checklist for you that we are going to throw up, okay, so we're going to throw that up on the screen in a minute, but your job essentially is to make a staggered or stair-stepper floor price model that will show value to your buyers. That means if someone comes in here and sees the 001 floor price, right under that line they're going to see a steady increase, which is why the initial was listed at 001. The next line was 0025, the next line was 005, and the next line was 01 and above. Now we cover that in our description, which we are also going to cover. So your first job is to create a rising floor price that people as buyers will come in and say, hey, if I buy these 2, these 3, or these 4, I am instantly in profit. Anybody that is a flipper or a reseller of anything understands the concept that you make your money on the buy and not on the sell. If you buy, say, let's just use this for an example. If you buy an old $5 bill that has a market value of $20 and you pay $10, you made your $10 on the buy when you paid $10 for something with a market value of $20. So if someone sees a floor price of, let's just say, 01, and after a couple of NFTs later, that floor price increases to 02, they have the value on the buy that they need to justify aping in or FOMOing into your project. So your first job is that floor price. That is something I can't stress enough, as that is the one thing that every successful collection must have. It's not optional, it's not a stipulation, it's not conditional, it is something that you must have for your collection to succeed. Okay, now number 2 is your description. When you are in here, you want to make a description that well outlines your plans and gives a sense of connection with your buyers. So you can see the description we have here, and I want you to notice that we have upfront listed our plans to aggressively scale this floor price. That means anyone coming in and looking at this knows that once 30 sell, the floor price will be 0.1 and up. And that is something that only you control as the creator of the project. Yes, people will come in and flip your items for lower than the floor price you make, but those will only increase the activity and increase the eyes that are on your project. So that is perfectly fine. Your job is simply to set a rising floor price outside of community flipping that shows that value to your buyers. Another thing is having a couple of special editions. As you see, we put 2 in this collection at 0.05, and the fact that we were upfront and named these as 2 special editions, these sold out at 0.05 before our floor was even at 0.03. So people see the value in special editions. So make sure you are doing something along the line of special editions. Another thing you want to do is make sure your entire collection has a theme. You'll go into a lot of collections and you'll see, say, 20 monkeys, and then 20 penguins, and then 20 random pieces of AI generative art. None of that is cohesive together. They should be split into 3 separate collections. That way each collection has its theme. If you do not have a themed collection, it's not the end of the world, but it is something that you want to make sure that you have. You want to make sure that every NFT in your collection is cohesive with every other NFT in your collection. Now, one thing that I do see a lot that I hate that I have to mention, but I feel the need to mention, is you want to make sure that there's no spelling errors in the title of your collection, and you have to name your collection. The amount of really good collections I see that just have the generic untitled collection string of numbers is appalling. So make sure you actually name your collection and there's no spelling errors. The next thing you want to do is make sure you add a banner. Having a banner and not just a blank black canvas here on the top of your page is going to just be one further step to validate your commitment to the project, which is going to show just a little bit of value to the community of buyers coming in. Now, one thing I didn't do in this that I do recommend is adding a social link. Now, whether that be a Discord community, Twitter, Medium post, really anything, even a website, you want to have some form of social proof in your collection. So I'm going to pop this up here. This is going to be your collection checklist. You're going to want to make sure that you hit these 5 points on your collection when you're either creating them or when you're going back and modifying your collection to appeal to a broader range of buyers, right? So now we're actually going to go into marketing. Now, there's 3 platforms that I heavily suggest anybody gets on, and that is Facebook groups. So if you go on Facebook and you type in the search bar looking for groups and you just type in NFT, there's a few like NFT art collectors, NFT community, NFT art and artists, and OpenSea NFTs. Those 4 groups are something that you want to be consistently posting your collection in. You want to post the collection as a whole. You want to post your social links in there, so share your Twitter on there. You want to be posting individual pieces. If you just listed a new piece or if you just sold a new piece, you can push those out there as well. There's nothing better than proof of activity to get more activity flowing into your collection. Now, one thing that I see a lot is people on Twitter or people without a Twitter will say, well, I don't have any Twitter followers. How do I start? Well, anytime you're posting on Twitter, you want to make sure that you have these top social media hashtags. And this is across any social media platform: Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. And we're going to get to TikTok in a minute as well. You want to be using these hashtags. Even if you have 0 followers, you will grow a follower base. It will guaranteed increase your engagement and the activity on your collection. So NFT, NFTs, NFT art, NFT artist, NFT collector, these top ones under social media hashtags are a must-have when posting on social media. Now, the ones on the bottom here are more situational. If you, of course, have a Polygon NFT, you want to use the Polygon NFT hashtag, because there are people out there like myself where I only flip Polygon NFTs, and when I go on Twitter, I am specifically typing in the hashtag Polygon NFT to find projects that I want to buy into. Now, there are other things like if you're on Rarible, Nifty Gateway, Binance, Solana, you want to be using those specific hashtags. So hashtags is very, very important, and joining those Facebook groups and pushing your content out there is very important as well. Now, another thing you can do that is has led to the success, and let me type this in here for you guys, of the Baby Sasquatch. So if you haven't seen Baby Sasquatch, the guy running this page is an absolute marketing genius. Flash warning for anyone out there. This guy has created a collection, and he has pushed this primarily on TikTok. He has made a TikTok channel called Baby Sasquatch. I believe it's actually Baby Sasquatch 2, so you can see what he's doing. If you go on TikTok, type in that name, you can see what he's actually doing to push his NFTs out, and it has severely scaled his project. As you can see, he's had 15 Polygon ETH traded, and his activity is going wild, right? Every day his floor price is increasing, including this NFT number 31 Baby Sasquatch that sold for 0.25 ETH, even with a floor price that is 0.04. And you can ask, well, why is that selling for 0.25 when his floor price is 0.04? And that's something that I want to go into as well. Now, if you have already launched a collection without it, it is not exactly necessary. You can go back and modify it, but if you are just about to launch a collection, please take the time to add properties. The reason that he had a quarter ETH sale when his floor price is 0.043 is because he shows value to his buyers in the form of properties. So if we go to activity and we actually click on the one that sold for a quarter ETH, which you can see is now relisted at 10, you can go to the properties tab and see that he has some extremely rare properties that are driving the value up. Now think about any card game like Pokemon. If you have the original Shadowless first edition Charizard, it's going to be worth a million times more than any reprints of that same card that they do in the future, because it has that rarity. It is a one of one from that collection. It's not, actually a one of one, but it is from that original collection, and that's what makes it rare. Well, in this collection, and speaking on NFT properties, the dark red background, the Flames Aura ability, the ocean blue fur, and the Furious temperament makes this extremely rare, and I can almost assume, and I'm right, it is a one of one. It means this is the only one that is minted with these properties. And if we look at his description, which is extremely well done, you can see down here he has listed out front for everyone the rarities and the additions that he's planning on launching. So all of these things that you see with the description, mixed with the social media marketing, mixed with the property traits and the rarities, are all accomplishing one core principle, and that is showing value to buyers. So buyers are looking for an engaged content creator that is upfront about his pricing, scaling, and minting functions, and also shows great detail in his properties listed with a collection that has an overall cohesive theme. So if you take all of these things that you've learned in this video and apply them to a collection, there is an extremely low chance that your collection will fail, and there's an extremely high chance that you will see a massive amount of activity, interest, and excitement around your project. Now, another thing, when you are going on Twitter just launching, or you're going on TikTok, do giveaways. Giveaways are going to be some of the fastest ways to increase your activity, because when you do a giveaway, it shows a transfer on your activity page. And people like me, okay, so the way that I find most of my projects that I buy into is literally sorting activity. If I don't see something pop up on activity, there is a very little chance that I will see it. So doing these extremely low priced floors and doing these giveaways, if nothing else, will accomplish the fact that you want to get on this activity page and you want to get visibility. Now you can also accomplish this by scaling your listings. Now if I go to OpenSea and go to explore, this is another way that I search for projects. I will go to recently listed. So listing all of them at once is amazing, but if you can also stagger your listings, if you're not minting through a contract like Solidity, staggering your actual listings is another way that you can get seen in this activity space, if you want to call it. So there's two main ways that people are searching for these projects, and that is recently listed and sold transfer activity. Now if you can hit those, not only will that help your product launch, but it will also help your activity remain. So when you're doing that, you also want to make sure that you are watching what the community is relisting your NFTs at. If you have a floor price of 0.1 that sells out and those people start listing them at 0.3, everything you list after that, you want to be probably above 0.4 because you want to make sure that you are ever scaling your floor price to increase the activity and to get a continuation of that activity. Because if you drop off of recently listed or you drop off of recently sold and you aren't promoting on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest, your collection will unfortunately most likely fizzle out and fade away, and that is exactly what you want to avoid. So stay active, keep monitoring the prices, keep posting on social media using the correct hashtags that we went over, and your product will succeed. Now if you want myself personally to review your project, stop by one of the live streams, make sure you subscribe, and I will go over your project live in front of everybody. But no matter what, keep hustling, family.